Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today it is time to pick my July TBR, and if you can't tell, I've acquired quite a few new books in June. I think my count is around 8 that I've purchased, but then I also acquired some of getting them through people borrowing them to me and some other means. And I also went to the library and I have 2 library books that are due at the beginning of July, so I need to get those read as well. And if you can't tell, I got through about exactly half of my June TBR. These 3 books I did not touch because I got the library books. These kind of got put on hold. I did read 3 of my June TBR, which I'm very happy with. And I think if I didn't read my get library books, I probably would have gotten through 1 more of these, but these are going to all get added back to my very, very full TBR shelf. There's almost not even room left on this shelf, so it hasn't been this bad in a while. My 2 library books I'm going to just set here off to the side. They need to get read regardless. I have started Pioneer Girl, but I have not started The White Darkness yet. This one luckily is only just over 100 pages, and there's pictures in it, like photographs, because it is a nonfiction. So those are going to be put on my TBR to read, but they do not count for picking. I have my Kindle here as well. I have, I think the last time I checked, 70 unread books on my Kindle. So that is a lot to get through as well, but I think my main focus is going to be to get some quick wins and tackle this kind of overwhelming TBR. With all of that being said, here's my jar. I'm going to pick 5 prompts for the month of July, just with some other reading challenges and things that I want to do in my library books. I think 5 is a reasonable number, and July is also the start of Herculean round 3. I did finish 2.0 in the month of June, so I'm very proud of that. So I'm excited to start fresh, and that means I have a clean slate. So I'm not really focusing on picking any specific books. I just want to pick books off my physical TBR. Okay, enough chatting. Let's get picky. Pick number 1. Romance book. This is great because romance books are usually quite fast reads for me, so let's take a look and see what I have. I am going to go with The Long Game. This author I know I can read very quickly. I'm pretty sure I read The Spanish Love Deception in like a day, and I originally bought this book to give to somebody else, but they already had it, so it got adopted onto my shelf. Therefore, I now must read it. So luckily this is an author that I like, so romance book is The Long Game. Pick number 2. Only words on the cover. Let's see, I'm gonna have to check what I have. For only words on the cover, I think this is my best bet. It is How the Word is Passed. This is a nonfiction book as well, and it is exploring the legacies of slavery in the United States. So I am excited to read this one. This is one that has slightly intimidated me, but I have been thinking about it a little bit more lately, so I think July is a good month to tackle an intimidating book. Pick number 3. Oop, I have 2 here. A book about family. I'm gonna have to take a look because I'm not sure off the top of my head. Okay, so these are my options that I picked that all have like strong themes of family. However, when reading the backs or the blurbs, I think this is how it always is, has the strongest theme of family in it. And this is also a book that was borrowed to me, so I am excited to read this so I can return it to the person. And they also said that this is one of their favorite books, so I'm excited to read. And I will pop these back on my shelf. Okay, pick number 4. Set in a different country. Let's take a look. So I actually have quite a few options on my shelf, but I pulled it down 3 of them. So The Valley of Amazement is set in Shanghai, China, which is not the US. And this is also a borrowed book, and it's one that was borrowed to me quite a while ago, so I do want to get to that. A new book that was just passed on to me is A Far-Flung Life, which is set in Australia. This one I just got, so I think even though I am excited to read this book, I think I'm gonna pass on this one for now. And then another recent borrow to me is The Bird Artist. This one, first of all, the cover of this is just very intriguing. But this one was also just borrowed to me recently. This one is set in Canada. So I think what I'm going to go with is The Valley of Amazement. This one was borrowed to me almost a year ago at this point, so I do want to get it read and off my shelf. So I'm going to add The Valley of Amazement for set in a different country. And then our last pick number 5. Pick number 5 is a book you're scared to read. Let's take a look. Okay, so the first book that came to mind is How Minds Change. This book, for some reason, intimidates me, and it's one that I have put on quite a few TBRs and just have not gotten to. So I think July needs to be the month that I tackle that intimidation and read How Minds Change. So here is my TBR. I do need to add one more book to this. My book club book that we are reading is Appalachian Elegy by Bell Hooks, Poetry and Play. So it has an introduction and then poetry. This one I do need to read by the beginning of in the beginning of July for my book club. So I do need to add that to my stack. And let me tidy this up quick and we'll go over all of the books that I'm going to read, hopefully in July. Okay, so in July, I have 2 library books, Pioneer Girl and The White Darkness. And also my book club book, Appalachian Elegy. And then the 5 books that I picked with prompts a romance novel, The Long Game, a book with words on the cover, or only words on the cover, How the Word is Passed by Clint Smith, a book about family, This Is How It Always Is by Lori Frankel, Set in a Different Country, The Valley of Amazement by Amy Tan, and a book that I am intimidated to read, How Minds Change by David McRaney. So there's my very ambitious TBR for the month of July. I am hoping July will be the month I finally finish a physical TBR, because I have not done that this year. I thought June was going to be my month, but then other reading plans got in the way, but that's okay. So hopefully I can tackle a lot of books off of this physical TBR, because it is getting quite out of control. And that is where I'm going to leave you for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.